Need Apple's iPad, right? Where's missing Claudia?
Did she go back there?
I don't know. I just tell people to shut the hell up.
Judge, I have news, by the way.
That you're pregnant?
No, Molly Kraft. She got promoted into the felony mental health spot, and so she's going to be taking over my position and doing these mental health hearings from now on.
It just makes you a quitter.
I didn't get a choice.
All right. Well, welcome, Molly. So you're going to train her today?
Yeah, she's going to sit in, and then we'll meet and kind of go over how they work. And
There's Claudia. All right, I think everybody's here. Once Claudia gets in here. All right. Claudia's all hooked up. This is this Mr. Sampson?
Yes.
All right, and I do have a copy of the mental health assessment. I'll consider that for the purpose of this hearing. Did you want to call your client and testify? You're muted.
You talking to me?
No, Maria. It's a little red button.
Yeah,
There you go.
got it. Found
All
it.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Sampson, if you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give be truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth, stuff you got.
Yes.
You can go ahead.
Judge, I just want to make sure that I know who is on with me. Is that his family member, Mr. Sampson's family member that's here?
I don't know his family. She's saying, yeah, Ethel's iPad. Is that
Yes, I'm his mother.
okay?
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Answer yes.
All right. So, Mr. Sampson, can you please briefly tell the court your current medical condition or your mental health condition?
Probably anxiety, bipolar.
Okay. And you do understand that you're currently facing 3 charges, right?
Yes.
And one of them is actually there's 2 felonies. One of them is a theft with prior conviction that became a felony due to the fact that you have prior convictions. And then there's a possession, a controlled substance. That's also a 3rd degree. And then a driving while license invalid, which is a misdemeanor. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Okay. And at this time, are you right now on medication?
Yes.
Okay. And so do you understand why we're here today?
Yes.
Okay. We are here to try to ask the judge whether or not he would grant you what's called a mental health bond, which will allow you to get out of jail and continue your treatment for your mental illness. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
And so right now I see your mom with us. So if you were to be released, are you going to be staying with your mother?
Yes.
And are you planning on continuing to take your medication?
Yes, ma'am.
Who will be transporting you back and forth from the courthouse into home?
My mom.
And she's willing to do that?
Yes.
And are you currently thinking about transferring your treatment center from Dallas to LifePath?
Yes.
Okay. Have you started that process yet, or has your mom helped you start that process yet?
We haven't, we gonna start it up.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
We just gonna start it. We mentioned about it. We gonna start it.
Okay. And where does your mom live?
3409
I mean, what city does she live in?
Wally.
Okay, so she's fairly close, right?
Yes,
You do understand that you are required, if the judge provides you with the mental health bond, you're required to check in with Tony, who is currently on this. She's waving her hand. You're required to check in with her on a regular basis. Do you understand that?
yes, ma'am.
And you also need to come in once a month to talk to the judge, who is also on this screen. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you willing to do so?
Yes.
Pass the witness.
Questions from the state?
No questions from the state at this time, Your Honor.
Anything else from the defendant?
Your Honor, I'm going to briefly call the mother.
Okay. If you would raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you give your full name to the court, please?
It's Ethel May Dardy,
Can you spell the last name for me, please?
Dardy.
Okay. And are you Mr. Sampson's mother?
Yes,
You heard all the questions that I posed to your son, right?
yes, ma'am.
Do you agree with his answers?
Yes,
So you will be willing to transport and be responsible for Mr. Sampson until his cases are disposed, right?
yes, I will. Unless I have an appointment, I might have to send someone else with him.
Okay, but all the time you'll have somebody that will sort of help monitor and supervise him, right?
Yes,
Pass witness.
Any questions from the state?
No questions, Your Honor.
Any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, I rest.
All right. Does the state have anything else?
Your Honor, I'd just like to read the criminal history into the record.
Okay.
In 1998, this defendant was arrested for theft and sentenced to 30 days jail. In 1999, he was arrested for evading and theft and sentenced to 3 months on both of those cases. In 2000, he was arrested. In early 2000, he was arrested on misdemeanor theft and sentenced to 120 days. Later on in 2000, he was arrested again on a misdemeanor theft and sentenced to 45 days. At the end of 2000, he was arrested with theft of 2 priors and sentenced to 2 years TDC, but probated for 5. 2001, he was arrested for theft with 2 priors and sentenced to 210 days. In 2002, he was arrested for theft with 2 priors and sentenced to 2 years. In 2004, he was arrested for theft with 2 priors and sentenced to 1 year. In 2004, again, he was arrested for theft with 2 priors and sentenced to 180 days. At the end of 2004, he was arrested for evading with vehicle and theft with 2 priors and tampering with a government record. On the evading and theft, he took 2 years each, and tampering, he took 60 days. In 2007, he was arrested again on theft with 2 priors and sentenced to 180 days. In 2008, he was arrested on misdemeanor theft in state jail PCS. The theft was dismissed, and the state jail drug case was reduced to a misdemeanor, and he was sentenced to 19 days. In 2009, he was arrested again on theft with 2 prior convictions, sentenced to 11 months state jail. 2011, he was arrested again, theft with 2 priors, sentenced to 270 days. In 2012, theft with 2 priors, sentenced to 9 months. 2013, theft with 2 priors, sentenced to 12 months. 2014, theft with 2 priors, he was given a year deferred and was eventually revoked and sentenced to 180 days. 2016, he was arrested with theft with 2 priors, sentenced to 8 months state jail. Later on in 2016, he was arrested for manufacturing delivery of a controlled substance, category penalty group 1, between 1 gram, more than 1 gram, less than 4 grams. And that was reduced to a 3rd degree, and he was given 3 years TDC. In 2017, he was arrested, and later he was also arrested on a PCS penalty group 1 and also sentenced to 3 years in 2017. 2019, he was arrested for theft with 2 priors and sentenced to 180 days. 2020, he was arrested for theft of 2 priors and evading with prior and sentenced to a year on both. 2020, he was later on arrested for assault of an elderly person, and that case was eventually dismissed. And in 2022, he was arrested for Mandel of a penalty group 1, 4 grams under 2 grams, sentenced to 5 years before we are here today. The state rests and close.
Any argument from the state?
Due to the criminal history, would oppose a PR bond at this time, Your Honor.
Yeah, the criminal history is just too much. I'm in denial bond this time. Good luck. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Say.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. See you later.